Are you holding yourself back from your own potential without even realizing it? Let's talk about it. Hi, my loves. My name is Dheandra Nicolette, and on my channel, you'll find everything spirituality, lifestyle, wellness, basically anything and everything that I feel called to talk about. And today, my loves, we are diving into self-sabotage because I feel like, okay, this is definitely a topic that I'm very familiar with. There are a couple of signs that you might be self-sabotaging that you might not realize are self-sabotage. So we're going to talk about these 5 different signs of self-sabotage and how you can actually address them. So grab yourself a little snack, a little bevy of choice. Okay, I have my water here right beside me. Well, it's like on the floor. And let's go ahead and dive in today's discussion about self-sabotage. So the first sign of self-sabotage, why did I say that weird? Self-sabotage. The first sign of self-sabotage is procrastination. Okay, I feel like y'all saw this one coming because I feel like that is like one of the most obvious signs of self-sabotage is literally putting off what you can do today, putting it off until tomorrow, putting it off until next week, putting it off until next month, and eventually getting there and realizing that you could have literally done that thing a long time ago and saved yourself a lot of mind space, a lot of worry, a lot of energy, and you could have also had the thing done a lot sooner. A lot of times we are afraid of what happens after we actually complete a certain task. Or a lot of times you know subconsciously that that task will lead you closer to a specific goal that you have and you're just not ready for it, or you are self-sabotaging yourself from getting closer to that particular goal. So one thing that we can do to address procrastination is to break down a task into smaller pieces. Instead of seeing this particular thing that you have to do as something so big, so huge, so insurmountable that you are terrified to even get started on it because you are dreading the process of doing this thing, you can break that particular task down into more manageable steps. A lot of times what happens with things that we are procrastinating is that once we actually like take that first initial uncomfortable step to start the particular thing, we are then led by momentum. And then we realize like, oh damn, like this actually was not that hard, or like this literally was not that difficult of a task. I really could have finished it sooner. But really what it is that we're creating this like mindset of feeling like this is such a hump to get over. But literally once you do that first thing, take that first step, it becomes a lot easier. So put a random time in your calendar and just start. Break it down into smaller steps if need be, but literally force yourself to take that first step and allow momentum to lead you after that, and celebrate your wins as well. Because even if you just did one tiny little thing to start a project that you've been dreading or start a task that you've been dreading, celebrate that. Allow yourself to celebrate those small wins. So the second sign of self-sabotage is negative self-talk. Now, we all are familiar with this, okay? This looks like those little voices in your head that pop up whenever you feel like you want to do something or start something or try a goal or apply for a job or ask someone out or whatever the case is, that they pop up in your head and they tell you that you're not good enough, or they tell you that you're not going to get the job, or they tell you that that person will not like you, or that you're not worthy. Okay, these are the voices that are nagging in your head and you cannot seem to get them out. We are taking our fears, and instead of allowing ourselves to think about and talk about what it is that we are afraid of and face that fear head on, it turns into a voice in our head that's actually putting us down instead of building us up. Now, what I want you to do when that happens is I want you to recognize that that voice in your head is not you, okay? I mean, it's not you. And what I mean by that is that voice in your head, I want you to either give it a name, visualize a little personality, a little man, a little woman, a little ghoul, if you will, and start to talk to that voice. And start to really have a conversation with that voice and remind that voice of all of the things that you are proud of, all of the things that you know to be true. Because let's say, for example, you are applying for a job and that little voice comes in your head and it says, oh God, you're not qualified. You're not good enough. You're never going to get it. It's just not going to work out. It is true that you could not get the job, but not getting the job is not a reflection of you. Not getting the job means maybe that job wasn't a good fit. Maybe that job wasn't meant for you. Maybe there's something better out there for you. You can literally have a conversation with that voice and tell it, okay, I might not get the job, but guess what? I will literally not know if I won't get the job or if I will get the job if I don't apply for the job. So what I need to do is apply for the job and find out where we go from there. You literally won't get anything done in life if you always allow that voice to stop you from trying. It's better to try to do something, to put yourself out there, to apply for something, to take a first step and maybe get rerouted, redirected, rejected, because it's always a learning lesson. There's always something you can take away from that. And let me tell you something about something. I am always proud of myself for putting myself out there and shooting my shot even when it doesn't work out, because you know that takes courage, that takes guts, that takes action, that takes inertia to take a step and to take a chance. So talk to that voice and be like, listen, babes, might not get the job, but still going to apply for it because I literally won't know if I won't get it if I don't apply. So yeah. So another form of self-sabotage that like low key I think gets a lot of people because we don't think about it as self-sabotage is perfectionism. So perfectionism and procrastination are kind of similar because with perfectionism, you're operating under this guise of like, oh, I just have a really high standard for the work that I create and the things that I do. And so I can't fully put it out there if it's not like really good. And you convince yourself that the reason that you're not doing something, the reason that you're not putting something out there, the reason that you're not taking a chance is because you have to get every little thing right. You can't apply to that job until you fix your resume and it's perfect. You cannot shoot your shot at that person until you pop up and you are looking amazing, perfect. Everything is going right that day. You can't take your art and put it out there until it's absolutely 100% perfect and no one will criticize it. And let me tell you something right now, that is never gonna happen. Okay, perfect doesn't exist. I'm gonna need you to let go of the idea right now, okay? Whatever idea of perfect that you have in your head, it's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing. And so when we sit here and we put things off over and over and over and over again, we procrastinate because we believe that we are waiting for something to be perfect or we gotta, tweak something a little bit more. We are simply allowing ourselves to waste time. That's what it is. And I'm not here for sloppy work and sloppy business. Trust me, as a recovering perfectionist, I don't like sloppiness. But what I do think is important is what is it? I think, was it Steve Jobs who said this? But failing fast, okay? So allowing yourself to do things and learning quickly. You put it out there, maybe there's a typo, maybe there's something wrong with it. Okay, listen, things happen, okay? We're not perfect. But putting things out there, doing the thing, and then the more you do something, the more you're able to actually get feedback from the outside world, from yourself, the more you're able to tweak and learn and change and pivot and move on from there. But if you sit here and you're moving and you're like, oh, I cannot do X, Y, and Z because it's not perfect, like, babes, we are literally never gonna get anywhere. We're just not gonna get anywhere. So release the need to be perfect because I'm sorry, but that is literally an unattainable goal. You're never gonna be perfect, okay? And just do the things and learn from your mistakes and learn from whatever it is that you're putting out there, whatever it is that you're doing. So the next sign of self-sabotage is when you avoid challenges or opportunities. We all like to be comfortable, okay? We all like to be in our comfort zone. That's why it's literally called a comfort zone. But a lot of times what happens is that we are presented with challenges or opportunities for us to grow, for us to learn, for us to level up. And what one person might see as a struggle, another person would see as an opportunity to learn more about themselves and grow. And it really is a mindset shift to allow yourself to go from one bucket to the other. For example, not applying for the job or not allowing yourself to go up for a promotion or to ask for a promotion, or not allowing yourself to take a leap in your career that would allow you to level up, but it might mean more responsibility. I understand not wanting to stress ourselves out or overload ourselves. That's not what we're talking about here, but we're talking about opportunities for ourselves to step into a new realm, to step into a new challenge, to step into a new opportunity, a new world. And when we have that and we turn our backs on that, we are self-sabotaging, because instead of choosing an opportunity of growth and leveling up, we're choosing to stay where we are. We're choosing stagnancy. I mean, if you want to stay stagnant, if you don't want to go anywhere in life, if that's the life that you want to live, that's the life you want to live. But for those of us that want to grow and want to allow ourselves new opportunities to learn more about who we are and what we are made of, it means allowing ourselves to open ourselves up to moments of challenge and opportunity. And that could mean doing things that push you outside of your comfort zone. The last thing I have on my list for self-sabotage is self-medication and overindulging. So this one, I think, comes in a multitude of different forms. This could literally be an addiction to substances, but it could also be an addiction to something like social media, or an addiction to something like certain videos online, or an addiction to serial dating, whatever it is. A lot of times, instead of facing, life head on, facing the challenges that I just talked about, or facing certain things that we would rather not face and think about and do, we decide to turn to something else that will distract us, that will provide us a moment of release, a moment of, happiness and joy and all of these hormones that make us feel good, but really don't allow us to deal with what is on our plate. So if you find yourself overindulging in certain substances, certain foods, certain things in your life, and you're noticing that you're using these particular things as coping for dealing with things in your life versus dealing with the things head on, that could be a sign of self-sabotage. And when that happens, it's up to you to really see it for what it is, right? Start to notice the patterns, start to notice where you're avoiding the awkward conversation, start to notice where you're avoiding doing the work and you're going to do something else instead, and really call yourself out. I feel like when it comes to overindulging and these sort of patterns, we have to allow ourselves the opportunity to really be honest with who we are being. What are we doing over and over and over that we would prefer not to be doing? And how can we actually start to scale that behavior back and stop procrastinating, or stop being a perfectionist, stop overindulging, and actually do what it is that we know we need to do for our goals and for ourselves. That's it, my loves. Those are my 5 signs of self-sabotage, how you might be self-sabotaging in your life, and what it is you can do about it when you notice that you are self-sabotaging. Comment down below if you've ever experienced any one of these and you are in the process of recovering from one of these. Would love to know your story. Give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, of course, like I said, and share this video with someone who could use it, could find it helpful, and may also love this channel. So thank you so much, my loves, for being here, for watching this video, for supporting, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.